Alcohol City Lights and slow songs. Josephine. The best time to speak with Mohinder is when he's just come in from the cold, is stood on the welcome mat and holds his paper bag of rum, rocks on his heels, swinging to and from, steam rising off his frozen jeans and tattered green puffer jacket thing, swaying like a tower block in wind, that thin mountain music to his movements. Josephine, this is the best time to speak with him. Invite him into your living room, ask him to sit where you know he will. The far left on the low maroon sofa, the one he says is like a red surf, yeah, that one. Dim the lights a little, not too much, else he'll freak out. Dim it so the room sits halfway between sunset and a boudoir, and everything's edge looks soft. Leave the room for about 2 minutes. Mohinder will rise to his feet and walk around, touching that river painting by the kitchen door, the cute little etch beside the mirror, and your bookcase. If A Midsummer's Night Dream is on the shelf, hide it. It's too soon, now he might start talking about how when we first met, I was dressed up as Bottom. Come in from the kitchen now. You should be wearing that brown cardigan with the extra long sleeves. Mohinder likes when they dangle past my hands and double up as gloves and I'm holding a hot mug of tea. Mohinder will ask you if you want a sea breeze or Long Island iced tea. Have you ever seen him make one? My God, his hands blur with the vodka, the gin, rum, tequila, whiskey, lime, lemon. He never adds enough Coke, Joe. Go with the tequila sunrise. Make sure you ask for orange juice with bits. He'll respect you for this. Laugh a lot. Cackle crazy, the way you did when that masked pole dancer flashed us at Anna's leaving do, and you thought you recognized his balls. And that laugh is infectious, Joe, just pure class. Do that around Mo, and he'll feel relaxed. Sooner or later, Mohinder will mention America. Not that he's naive or anything and thinks of it as the promised land. Definitely not. Far from that. Actually, he likes to lean back from a conversation. I can see his long hair spewing over that maroon sofa. Joe, his skin just gorgeous in the low light, glowing like it does, almost blue. He'll lean back and say, America is the biggest neo-colonialist lie, and wait for you to say something. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds good, right? He's wanted to visit for ages, and the feeling's gotten stronger these last months. Tell him he has to go. Has to. That when his pay comes, he should wait for the crumbs of money his dad gives him every month, add that, buy a ticket, and just go. Mo will look down at his glass, take a hit of his Hito, try to change the subject, suddenly pull out his phone or pretend something interesting flashed across the TV screen. Tell him you want a multiple screaming orgasm. At least it'll break the ice or the lull in conversation. Vodka, Kahlua, Malibu, Baileys, always full-fat milk, Joe, and always double cream. I used to think that the alcohol burns the fat. I'm totally bullshitting, right? Just down that bad boy and ask him for another. I can see Mohinder sitting there right now on your sofa. He has to let it out eventually, Josephine, and you're the best person to handle him. Don't say anything when he gets up and wanders around the room again and his shadow falls across stuff on the table, scratching his chin, looking as old as his father. When he sits down, he will open up. You won't believe how many times he has done this routine. He can be so predictable sometimes, Josephine. He'll sit out the window, cars flashing by, will only catch half his face, or maybe in the corner, curled up, quietly waiting for the right moment. His arms tightly wrapped around his legs, chin resting on the rough pillow of his knees. And he will push down every lump that rises to his throat. He'll close his eyes as if each one was stuffed with rain clouds and a torrent threatened. Joe, he'll hold back everything till there's nothing to hold with, and to hold anymore will consume him. Just push a little more. And when he starts, he'll probably blame himself. When we set out from the flat and Mohinder called James, I knew something would happen. James is okay. I'm not saying that he isn't, just that those two together become schoolboys just trying to outlad each other. Who can pee the fastest, whose jeans is dirtier, who can slap out of tune the best. James always has the high-grade stuff. It's nuts how he's never been caught. He strolls around with his pocket full of it, dishing it out like candy. He started smoking before we even got dressed, Joe. I could smell it on Mohinder's breath when we kissed. I think James was in the passenger seat and you were at the back with Mohinder. We got to Angels late and the band was already on, and I saw the way you looked at Mo when you danced in the mosh pit with you. I taught him how to slow dance like that. When the third band came on, we stepped out for a smoke, didn't we? It was drizzling, and those fat, sporadic raindrops caught the light falling like wet stars. Mohinder leaned forward and licked one right off my cheek, and I saw the flash of anger on your face. You tried to hide it, smiled quickly, but I saw it. The boys were having pints, each on their fifth cider, and James rolled the fattest spliff and sucked on it, getting angry that it was getting damp in the rain. You grabbed his jacket and snugged him viciously and yanked him after you back into the bar. Mo just shook his head and laughed, baffled by that. We left an hour later. I'd only smoked a bit, but I could feel it as I drove. James was shouting over the music to you and Mo at the back. You were all pissed and high at the same time. The road was slippery. I was trying to listen to the conversation. I wasn't focused. I lost control. Whatever Mohinder says, just say that. Softly, though, so he doesn't think you are accusing me. He'll get protective. You can't tell him I caused the accident just like that. You have to be gentle, so speak softly. Say that none of us could have done anything. Mohinder will blame himself. He will say that when we drove off the bridge and the car started sinking, he could have swam down and released my seatbelt. He'll say that the weed took the edge off him and he couldn't see straight. And if he'd just been drinking, if he had just stuck to alcohol, he'd have been fine to get me out in time. Joe, don't touch him. Let him let it all out. If he asks for another drink, make a pina colada, rum, coconut cream, and a lot of pineapple juice. Go light on the rum. But I think he'll just want a coffee. There's some in the small cupboard just under the sink. Tell him to get up off the seat and make his own. Cheeky bastard. I miss him. When he opens up and is sat in the dark and you can see right through him like an invisible man, a broken man, a shell of himself, and I am the world on his shoulders, crushing him. Joe, I can't bear that. It's been months now, and I don't think I'll rise from the coma. In the awkward silence now, try and catch his eyes and look with the warmth you did at the mosh pit. Lean into him, but not too close, Josephine. Not too soon, not just yet.